Hello everybody, my name is Joshua.
And my name is Paige.
And we'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Coffee, Cats, and King, where we will discuss movies, both new and old, share with you pictures of our cats, who are currently being absolutely insane over there. I think I've lost track.
That'll make you wish they were your cat.
Yeah, except they're being totally insane right now.
I don't know if you want these.
Yeah. And drink enough coffee for me, Paige, and everybody watching. Now, that is really hot. Okay. I have my Halloween mug here. I have my Halloween shirt here, although I don't know that you're going to be able to see it very well. There we go, kind of. Oh, hands in the arms. You get the idea. All right. And that is because we're filming this on Halloween this time because Paige will be out of town this weekend, and it's Halloween anyway, so we were going to watch a Halloween movie. We are therefore going to watch a Halloween movie. So, this is a very special one, one that I have talked about on this channel multiple times before. Okay. One that takes place on Halloween. Okay. And one that has a lot of cultural relevance and has had a lasting impression on more than one generation of viewer. So, okay. Tonight we will be watching 1992's Ghostwatch.
This is only 2 years older than us. In a live broadcast on Halloween night, a BBC team investigated a reported poltergeist in an ordinary London home. I remember you talking about this one, where it really looks like a live news thing from BBC.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember you talking about this one.
So BBC ran it as a Halloween special back in 1992, and they made it seem like a real newscast. There were proper cuts between the folks that generally did those news broadcastings were the ones on there and talking this out as it was happening live. And it was just a really, really awesome setup that had people believing that, or some people believing anyway, that this thing was real. So sort of the modern day equivalent of the War of the Worlds broadcast. And very few movies have done that in an actually convincing and terrifying way. This is probably one of, honestly, I'd say one of 3 movies that fully had many viewers convinced that it was real.
I would probably be one of those people.
And we will eventually be watching one of those other movies. The other one, not so much. Okay. But this takes place on Halloween. If you're looking for a Halloween movie for this weekend, even though technically Halloween has ended at this point, doesn't matter. This is an excellent movie for you. It is unfortunately not available to watch for free right now, but for $3 you can watch it on YouTube. So, any questions before we get in?
I am wondering, like, when they aired this, were they intending to scare people, or was it to be funny?
No. It was intended to be a scary Halloween event.
So they wanted to scare people in real life.
Yeah, they made it out to be a real thing.
I definitely would have been one of those people that was scared.
No.
I'm very gullible.
Well, it's not even about gullibility. Just watch and keep that, keep it in mind as you're watching the movie. Well, especially you. You are a bit of an empath. So just be in that mindset of what it was like for them seeing this.
Yeah, like you turn on the news and it's this.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I'm already freaked out.
Fantastic. All right. Havoc, take it away. Okay. We have just finished Ghostwatch. I think it scared Paige.
Yeah. That one was really freaky. It also frustrates me that I don't know like what's real and what's not, but I know like none of it is real. So I feel like it's hard for me to wrap my head around everything.
I feel like it's pretty easy to talk about this one without spoilers. This was again a BBC special where they were going to go into this supposedly haunted house to figure out what was going on. They have an expert there talking to the BBC anchor and explaining all of these things about. Again, is it poltergeist activity? Is it a ghost or a demonic something or what?
Can you explain more about the idea of a poltergeist? Because I feel like I don't really understand it, like by definition.
Poltergeist activity is generally tied to a particular person. Oftentimes it is seen in regards to children that are in difficult homes or have had some sort of tragedy or abuse or something like that going on. And there's a little bit of debate as to some people say that the poltergeist activity occurs because some sort of malevolent spirit has latched onto that child, and others say that poltergeist activity is actually closer to a psychic ability of the child manifesting their emotions when they are angry or upset, is to break something, to scream, to cause a lot of noise. So therefore, those are the things that manifest in poltergeist activity. That's the very, very basic idea of it anyway.
Yeah, because you definitely have that theory kind of starting strong at the beginning of the film, especially when you find out that the mom has recently divorced the dad.
Yeah.
So like that's what kind of sets that up.
I don't know. This one is extremely successful for many different reasons, but again, you can imagine the massive viewer base that saw these people daily or weekly at least doing these exact things, you know. So these people that they know, people that they trust, and then suddenly something that is totally different than anything they've ever seen on this news channel, because it is a news channel.
Yeah.
They didn't do this kind of thing, and then this is put up, and it terrified the heck.
If I saw this, I would have turned it off.
It terrified the heck out of people. And again, this is the early '90s. These effects and these little things that they do are that much more effective.
Yeah, like there were even
much harder to pull.
Where I had to like rewind because I realized that you could see things.
Yeah. Now that's important too. One thing that I wanted to point out: there were some instances where you thought you were seeing things. We're watching this in HD. 30 years ago, they would have seen just the barest hint of whatever it was that you saw.
And they probably wouldn't have been able to rewind. Picture,
and they couldn't rewind. No. Yeah. So they're watching it as it's happening. They're jumping at shadows in the same way that you were, but you have the ability to stop, to look back, to try and verify that you saw something or that you did not see something. They did not, and you were getting a much clearer picture than they were. So again, all these things taken into consideration, you can see why this was a big deal and why so many people still love this movie.
Sorry.
Especially for being just a TV movie.
Yeah.
You know? So, like I said, this was maybe the second instance of someone doing something like this, where they played it off as an actual news broadcast.
Yeah.
There's only one big other thing that I can think of like that as far as television anyway. And then, like I said, I believe 3 good examples of them saying this is real, 100% real, and then playing it off as real. It's this movie, Without Warning, which plays as a newscast as they are learning about these terrorists that have taken over a ship with nuclear explosives on it.
Oh, that's too real.
And that's why we're not watching that one. Because Paige could not handle that one.
No.
I think that was a little too close to home.
Yeah.
The third being the Blair Witch Project.
Okay.
Which, again, we will of course be watching, and there will be a lot of talking involved in that one too. Unfortunately, you guys get a lot of talking from me in this one, so that I can explain a little bit of the backstory, because I think it is so important to this film. If you hear any noises in the background, it is because UPS decided to deliver very late tonight while we were watching the movie, and Havoc is now inspecting the box. So,
I will say, there were some cat screeching parts,
yes.
and Chaos was scared.
I don't know that he was scared. I think he was...
He went to investigate.
Well, yes, he did.
You can't tell now because he's sleeping.
Well, yeah, he's totally knocked out now.
He went to the TV.
Yeah, he went up to the TV and was checking it out, and
so he was on guard, and now he's resting.
Yeah, well, it took a lot out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Havoc was very brave.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to him. Slow zoom. Do-do-do. Cool Bear.
Hi, buddy.
Havoc. Yes, you were very brave, weren't you, buddy? Yeah, that's my book.
You can't.
And my candy wrapper. Yeah. There you go. Let everyone know that I'm sitting here eating candy. So next, I guess we need to hear a little more from you. Find out a rating, any other thoughts and opinions on the movie, and the typical, this is why you should watch it, or this is why you shouldn't watch it.
So I think I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
Because it was really well done, and I was hooked the entire time. I'm not going to give it a 5, because I personally didn't like the ending. You know, I don't like when things are not 100% fully fledged out when it comes to things like this.
So,
especially because I thought I was going to get that because it was like a investigative report thing.
So,
but I understand for the horror aspect, it kind of
Yes.
needs to be like that.
I guess I should point that out in regards to the ending without spoiling anything for anyone who's going to watch the movie.
There is still a mystery at the end. That's all.
Yes,
saying.
and so what you saw at the end, that is how they ended everything that evening. So that happened. They ended everything, and that was the end of television for that night. So they had nothing until the next morning to say, "Hey guys, we're sorry if this scared people."
God. I think that you would like this if you like documentaries, right? Because it is going to have a documentary feel to it. I will say that I personally appreciate, this is a very niche thing, but if you look up any poltergeist movie, 99% of them manifest as a clown. And I am scared of clowns. So I appreciate that there is a poltergeist movie that I can actually watch that does not have a clown in it. Because in my opinion, like, those two things don't need to go together. They really don't. So that's why I personally recommend it. If you're like me, or even if you're not scared of clowns, maybe you're tired of it always being a clown, or you want something different, or I don't know.
Can you recommend it? Can you recommend the movie for any reason other than there is no clown?
Well, yes.
Because I feel like that should pertain to many more movies.
Okay, no. And like I said, I like the documentary style of it. I think those are things I like in any movie. No
clowns.
No! The documentary style and the fact that you're like invested in the characters. Yeah. Because there's like one news anchor that's kind of like live action taking you through a night in the house. And she's there with the two daughters and the mom. And then you also have like her husband, who apparently is also a newscaster, and he's the one in the studio. So you have like him having to watch all this happen, and he's just like in the studio wondering what's going on with his wife. Like that whole dynamic. I don't know. There's just there's a lot of layers to it, and I think the characterization was what's really good. But they were real people,
right?
Just being themselves. But yeah, I don't know. It was really fascinating to someone like me who's very character driven, and I love documentaries. So I feel like those two things check my boxes.
Fair enough.
And no clowns.
And no clowns.
I'm a simple girl.
Right. Right. Any final thoughts from you boys?
Nope.
Havoc? Okay, Havoc is getting a bath before bed. And Chaos is totally zoinked out there.
Look at these little
little claw. Alright, so overall, a very successful Halloween Sunday Scaries.
Very scary.
Yeah. Would you consider this the scariest movie we've watched so far? And if not, then which one was the scariest movie so far?
I think this is the one where I was the most, like, scared while watching it. I don't know how much it's gonna linger. I feel like I can't really say that yet. There's another movie that you and I watched before. It wasn't a Sunday Scary. It was just,
This was back before Sunday Scaries.
Yeah.
When I would just occasionally, like twice a year, get Paige to watch a movie with me.
Yeah. So that one, for some reason, like while watching it, I wasn't that scared. But like for the nights afterwards, it was like I would think of that while I was sleeping, or like trying to go to sleep.
For those of you wondering, I'm sure some of you have watched it. It is the movie Butterfly Kisses that she's referring to.
Yeah.
Which is funny because she did not like the movie when we watched it at all. But apparently that's the one that scared her, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't scared while watching it, but for some reason it just like stuck with me. So I don't know if this was going to stick with me per se.
But this one scared you during.
But yeah, during I was like scared. I was like
she kept reaching over to hold my hand, and then she was coming over and trying to hide her head, and so. Okay, well, yeah, very successful man.
I'd say so.
Well, I hope that you all had a wonderful Halloween this year, and that you can enjoy a nice scary movie this weekend. Perhaps Ghostwatch if you have not seen it before.
Sorry.
Let us all bless Paige in the comments. How's that? Okay. She'll need those blessings for for whatever exorcism we'll need to be done by the time we are finished with these next few Sunday Scaries.
Oh God.
So, last few movies, we had a silly, stupid slasher. Now we have had a Halloween special. Next up, I don't know which direction to go. Maybe a creature feature.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't had one of those.
Yeah, maybe a creature feature, or there's another anthology movie I'd like to get to soon, but I don't know. We'll see. So that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining me.
No problem.
Boys, thank you for kind of staying up and watching the movie with us.
And for protecting.
And for protecting us, of course, yes, from the various monsters out here in the woods, the random UPS man, poor guy that was working at 8 o'clock at night, and the gnat that has not left me alone this entire movie. So, thank you all. I hope you stay safe, have a wonderful week or weekend, and most importantly, drink great coffee. Cheers.